adventure, sports, outdoors. With host Harry Canterbury.
There I was, back in the wild again, and I felt right at home where I belong. I had that feeling coming over me again, just like it happened so many times before. Yeah.
Hi, Harry Canterbury with another edition of Adventure Sports Outdoors. We've got a great show. Don Johnson, the CEO of Goodwill Industries in the Peoria area, is going to show us one of the things that they do for the veterans here in the Peoria area. It's called a stand down, and they are the only organization that I'm aware of, and probably you too, that really goes out of their way to make a big difference for veterans who are homeless and don't have a lot. And they help these guys out not just once a year, but all year long. So we're going to talk to Don, and he's going to tell us about the activities and the things that they do at Goodwill. And then we're also going to talk to Randy Prunty. He is a veteran administrator in Woodford County, does a lot of great things, helping veterans get the benefits that they so duly deserve. And we're going to show you some of the artwork that these veterans do that's on display at the Peoria Public Library coming up very soon. So join us today for a great show.
Adventure Sports Outdoors is brought to you in part by Corsall Lumber, manufacturers of quality hardwood products, buyers of standing timber in Smithfield. Central Pool Supply, everything from pools to pool tables and much more in Peoria on West Pioneer Parkway. Kelleher's Irish Pub and Eatery, located on Peoria's riverfront, open 11 a.m. daily. Eastport Marina, one of the only marinas in its class between Chicago and St. Louis, on Mariners Way in East Peoria. Goodwill, supporting our veterans with job placement assistance, health, housing, and resource referrals. And the General Wayne A. Downing Home for Veterans, all because you shop and donate. And by Lori Feld of Allstate Insurance at their new East Peoria location, 411 East Washington Street, next to the U.S. Post Office, on the corner at the bottom of Springfield Road Hill. Our thanks to all of these sponsors.
I'm Don Johnson. I'm President and CEO of Goodwill Industries of Central Illinois. And this week we're doing the 13th annual Patriot Weekends. Patriot Weekend is the award ceremony that we do, and you'll see some of that footage tonight through Harry. We give out 4 major awards, and then one of the lucky winners will actually win 2 awards, the General Downing Award, which you'll see a little bit later. And then also on this Friday and Saturday, we do Stand Down, 13th annual Stand Down. We provide coats, hats, gloves, boots, services for about 255 veterans in our region that need our support. We know who they are. Our staff knows them. We track them in Good Tracks, and so we've communicated with them. But these are veterans who need our support, and Goodwill has always have been a leader in the community as far as helping veterans. We have our partners here, and with our partners from IDVA to some of our corporate sponsors, we will spend about $30,000 buying new coats, hats, boots, and gloves just for Stand Down. There's several things that people don't really know about Goodwill. A couple things here about General Wayne A. Downing. One is we're the only Goodwill in the United States that owns and operates a veterans home. It's on the south end of Peoria. If you saw it, it still looks brand new. We did a capital campaign, and then the Hope family actually was a naming sponsor on the second edition that we did, and it's full. We have 15 guys that live with us full time. We provide food, shelter, clothing, and that's a commitment similar to, and I think would make General Wayne A. Downing pretty happy. He was kind of a soldier, 4-star general back during the Gulf Wars, and led the country. He understood the plight of the soldier, and so we were deeply honored knowing the man, General Downing, from Peoria, graduate from Peoria High, to actually name our veterans home, which is a very unique place after General Downing. This evening also we will do an award that we think very highly of General Downing and the family by who he was, and we'll actually give the General Wayne A. Downing Award this evening too, to somebody that's very committed to helping veterans.
The winner of this year's Business or Association Patriot Award is 22VA. Accepting the award is Michael Reagan.
Representing PJ Hare is Kirk Anderson, and representing PDC, Peoria Disposal Company, is Caitlin Alwyn. The winner, I'm honored to do this, of the 2021 Veteran Patriot Award is Joe Sharp. Our staff has known Connie Watson for years. Connie is just like Joe Sharp, an unsung hero, works for IDVA. IDVA has helped us in numerous ways. The van right outside there was really because of her work with our staff, as Logan knows, Logan Wave. Logan runs our General Downing home. She couldn't make it last year because of travel and travel bans. But I want to do this special recognition from all the staff and all the guys living at the Downing home for Connie Watson. Connie's going to retire within 2 years, I hear. You're going to come back next year.
Yes, hope to.
Thank you for all you do for the veterans in the state of Illinois. We truly appreciate your leadership and support. I wrote that. Connie's going to stay up here to also help present the General Wayne A. Downing Award, but Connie Watson has done, I can't think of how many projects in Peoria and also with Goodwill and also with the Downing home. It's countless. And you know from my heart, I really appreciate that. And did you meet Lori Johnson? Lori was here.
Yes, yes.
I think we owe a round of applause to Connie Watson. Finally tonight, we present the General Wayne A. Downing Award. This award is sponsored by CEFCU, the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, IDVA, I just talked about Connie, and Humana. Representing CEFCU is Mark Hoffmeyer. Representing IDVA, that's why I had Connie stay right there. And I want Shannon Szymanski to come up too, who is also with IDVA. Shannon was worried I was going to make her talk. And representing Humana, Jim Reichert. Is Jim here?
As you probably know, General Wayne A. Downing was the inspiration for the ceremony and a true American patriot. Wayne Downing, a Peoria native, rose to the rank of 4-star general and served as Commander-in-Chief of the United States Special Operations Command from 1993 until his retirement in 1996. We lost General Downing in 2007, but we keep his memory and dedication to his troops alive with ceremonies like this. Each one of tonight's winners shows true patriotism to their country. As you can imagine, the task to choose just one was truly daunting. The 2021 General Wayne A. Downing Award goes to 22VA.
The 2021 Patriot Citizen Award this year goes to Joe Sharp.
Thanks a lot, Don. Appreciate it. Super surprised.
The 2021 Military Patriot Award this year goes to Lieutenant Colonel Brodbaugh. The 2021 Patty Fox Citizen Patriot Award this year goes to Crystal Smith. So the Business Association Award as well as the General Wayne A. Downing Award this year goes to Mike Reagan of 22 VA.
Michael Reagan, I'm with 22 VA, that's 22 veteran artists. We use art as therapy to help veterans express themselves and deal with PTSD, anxiety, depression. I founded the group, and we have an art show coming up, our 7th annual art show at the Peoria Public Library. I try to get veterans to express themselves through art rather than do damaging things, get things out of their heads. And sometimes it's not easy to talk, but it's easy to put something into a piece of art.
Bruce Brown, United States Marine Corps, 1969 to 1971. And I'm here today. Goodwill gave 22 VA an award, 22 veteran artists, a local group. 22 veterans nationally a day commit suicide, more than twice the civilian rate. So our local art group, as we have found by painting, photography, in my case, sculptures, music, that taking up the arts and creating things in an artistic sense does a great deal to reduce the post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD.
Hey Dave.
Afternoon, Alf. How are you?
Good, good, good. I was thinking about getting a handgun for my wife. She wants to have something at home for self-defense. Do you have something you could recommend?
I do. If you're not going to practice a lot and just buying a gun for around the house, you need to buy something that's simple and safe and easy to use.
Okay.
A revolver is a good choice. And here's a couple of revolvers right here. Revolvers are inherently safe. They have a transfer bar safety. A lot of them have an internal lock, or an external lock that you can lock the action up. This particular one is a Smith & Wesson 38 Special. It's equipped with a laser grip. So if you're not a very good shot, you just put the laser on the target, and that's where it'll hit.
And it's not too heavy for a female?
And that's another thing. You want something small, lightweight, that they can get a concealed carry in their purse, carry in the car. It needs to be small or you're not going to carry it. If recoil is a factor, you can buy handguns of smaller calibers that are still pretty powerful.
Okay.
Here's a Smith & Wesson 22 Magnum, and then here's a Smith & Wesson 22 revolver. There's other makers besides the Smith & Wessons I have here. There's Ruger, Taurus, many different companies that make a fine quality handgun. That would be a good choice. Now, if your wife takes up shooting and target shooting and practicing, then you can consider a semi-automatic.
Okay.
Here's some examples of these. We have a Kimber. It's a baby 1911 9mm. We have a Smith & Wesson 9mm, a Glock 43. This particular one is a flag edition. Most of them are black or a two-tone, and that's one of the smaller ones, and then they go up from there as far as size, in a 9mm.
I sometimes go out west for hunting, and I worry about grizzly bears. What would be a good gun to deal with that issue?
41 Magnum on up. 41 Magnum, 44 Magnum, 500 Smith & Wesson even, but those get to be on the big side, and they're hard to carry, especially if you're backpacking or something like that.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you.
But ammunition is real short supply. We're getting hollow points in, full metal jackets, ammunition trickle in, which they're a lot less expensive. But ammunition is starting to get just a little bit better. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have a full selection again. I'm Dave Barth with your Sportsman's Tip of the Week.
Mike Reagan and Randy Prunty put together the 22 VA project. It's really worked. It's a great thing, and they have made it accessible to all the public at the Peoria Public Library. I wasn't in the military, but I have two sons that were, and I know Randy very well, and the things that they saw were not meant for eyes. They carry a burden with them the rest of their lives. Not only them, but countless thousands of others who have been in combat and have seen the worst of the worst have to carry this on their shoulder for the rest of their lives. Unfortunately, many people can't handle it. And at an average, 22 veterans each day kill themselves. And it's a whole lot higher than the rest of our public. And these guys said, hey, you know, we ought to do something, at least try something. And it's been very successful. And I highly recommend to go see the artwork at the library. But now we're going to take a look at some of the great work that these artists and veterans have produced. Roy G. Biv is an acronym for the primary colors of the spectrum. red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. These primary colors evoke a range of emotions and moods. Red, orange, yellow, warm colors evoke feelings of happiness, optimism, and energy. Green and blue evoke feelings of new beginnings, abundance, and nature. Indigo and violet evoke mentality, inner contemplation, and self-reflection. Indigo and violet both colors for quiet contemplation. Such are the range of emotions these colors have in others, and for the artists of 22 VA. 22 VA, 22 veteran artists. About 22 veterans commit suicide nationally every day, more than double the civilian rate. We have selected bicycles as this works theme as a salute to the village of Peoria Heights and the Rouse Hazard Bicycle Manufacturing Company, now Trefsker's Bakery, being the largest manufacturers of bicycles in the world in 1894, and also the Rock Island Greenway, where tens of thousands of Greenway users may walk or pedal past this location each year. I've got a very special guy, a good friend of mine, Randy Prunty, who's involved in an organization called VA 22. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Well, it's 22 veteran artists. We've actually got over about 37 different artists right now, and our numbers keep growing. And we try to address the 22 veterans a day that commit suicide. And we try to get them to leave that dark side and come to the creative side, the light side. The show that we've got coming up in the month of November and December at the downtown Peoria Library will amaze the public. We've got a bunch of brand new artists this year, and our variety and array of art is actually on a professional level. We've got some really amazing artists.
Of course, you weren't the sole starter of this organization. There's a guy by the name of Mike Reagan.
Yeah, Mike Reagan and I co-founded it. We actually took it over from Daryl Ammerman and the Purple Heart. They actually did the Veterans Art Project before us, and we took it over. This will be the 7th year that we've been doing it.
And I've been to the display. It is wonderful, and some very talented people. I mean,
yeah,
unbelievable.
And our formats are anything. We have photographers, we have oil painters, we have beautiful wood carvers, we have a guy that does welding and metalwork, illustrators.
Any type of artwork.
Any artwork, and any veteran. If there's a veteran out there that has anything that all it takes is an honorable discharge. If you were a veteran, served honorably, we'd love to have you in our group. It's just that simple.
We did a show about 6 years ago about your experiences in Vietnam, and you were on what they call a PBR. It's called the
Navy designation was Patrol Boat River.
Patrol Boat River.
It was a small river patrol boat.
And it was plastic.
It was all fiberglass.
Yeah.
Very little armament, but it was very well armed with weapons. So, and I myself manned a twin 50 machine gun, and nobody else shoots 250 caliber machine guns.
That's got to be, I'm going to say, fun.
I mean, actually, I would do it all over again if I had the opportunity.
No, that's quite a deal.
But the Lord looked over me that I made 258 combat patrols. And
how many firefights?
32 firefights, all documented, but I lost a lot of good friends too.
Yes, you did. You lost your very best friend.
Yep.
And of course, you do something special for him every year. Is it on Memorial Day?
Every Memorial Day, I travel up to Michigan. It used to be Chelsea, Michigan. The family's moved to St. John's now, but we go visit the cemetery. And now, if anybody would ever be interested in seeing an actual PBR River Patrol boat in Muskegon, Michigan, there's an Afghanistan Army veteran, combat veteran, a young guy who's restored two, actually a Mark I and a Mark II PBR, fully operational, and you can go up there.
Took you for a ride too, right?
Go up there. You can go up there. Anybody can go up there, and he'll take you for a ride.
Is that right?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. You know, we've dealt with in our own family with situations that came up because of PTSD, and you've seen it. Well, you work for the VA in Woodford County, and you see a lot of stuff, don't you?
Well, I worked for the Veterans Assistance Commission, which is statewide. It's a county organization. Different counties, 47 counties in Illinois, have a VAC. It's called a Veterans Assistance Commission. We can sign veterans up to get them into VA medical, and then we can file claims for any kind of issue. PTSD is the number one issue, and the number one issue of the 22 suicides a day that needs to be addressed.
And that's what they figure that's an average across the board.
The number they give is 22 a day, and it's actually a higher number. That they don't figure in reckless driving and
alcoholism, drug abuse.
Yep.
They're talking just about immediate suicide.
Yep, the ones that take a weapon and do the quick termination. And
you told me that you had to order a headstone for a 35-year-old Army vet.
Just last week, I ordered a Iraqi veteran. Actually, I ordered a tombstone for him who had taken a gun and committed suicide.
It's a much more serious issue than what people would like to think. We're kind of insulated from all this stuff.
Well, 22 a day is just a terrible high number, higher than what the general population is.
Yeah, but you've got some work here at the house, and we're going to show some of the stuff that they do, and it's remarkable. Some of these guys ought to be working for Disney or somewhere. I mean, they do a wonderful job. They really do.
When we have a show like the show we have coming up at the downtown Peoria Library, I'm usually the guy that receives the art as our artists bring them in, and the comments I get. We've got artists that when they feel whatever kind of stress and issues that they have coming on, they go paint, they go carve, they go take up their art, and it's wonderful to hear their stories.
Yeah.
And then you'll look at a painting or a piece of art and ask them about what it was, and they can tell you a story, sometimes a particular story that the reason that they did that actual piece. Some pieces are even memorabilia pieces. They were either in the situation while they were in the military, or they knew someone who was in that situation in the military. Just wonderful pieces of art.
And this event is going to take when?
It opens up November the 8th, Monday, November the 8th. It'll go till January 5th. And on November 20th, we'll have an open house down at the library from 1 until 3.
And it's downstairs.
Yeah, they call it the second level of the downtown main library on Monroe and Main. It's a beautiful venue, hardwood floors and white walls.
Yeah, I've been to
great show.
Been to it a couple of times. It's really a nice venue
it's
to
always,
attend.
The library calls it the best attended event that they have, and it's if you do come, we ask that the library has a book that they ask for comments in, and by all means write something in that book, what you felt while you went through the show, what you felt as you've seen the pieces, and just your overall opinion of what you're seeing. The quality of the art will absolutely amaze people.
That's right. Well, one last thing before we show the folks some of the art that's going to be on display there at the library. You were in, like you said, 32 combat situations.
32 firefights.
And you and I have talked about many of them.
And in a documented firefight, that means either we accounted for a KIA, a killed in actions, or we lost somebody. Otherwise, it's not a documented firefight. So 32 firefights, somebody looked over.
Well, you first-handed understand, because you went through it yourself, because you bring all this stuff back home. It doesn't go away.
Absolutely.
It stays with you.
Yep.
And I know that you work very, very hard to make sure that it doesn't take away from you as a husband and as a family man. And you work extremely hard at that because those memories, some are good,
right,
but many, many bad ones, and especially losing a good friend like Bob.
right.
That I know that.
Well, the whole idea of this art show is not just doing art for healing, but the camaraderie of the group of talking, getting a veteran to talk. I've had family members come into my office to do a claim of a veteran that has passed, and they or a veteran that's in trouble at the present time, and they say, what do we say to him? How do we talk to him? And there is no magic word. There is no specific thing that can be said. Main thing is just to listen, and then find some help. The VA has a VA crisis line, and the veteran service officers are out there to come and talk to. We can point you in the right direction, but listen, let the veteran talk, and by all means, don't leave them alone, and get them help.
Yeah. Well, you gentlemen through the Goodwill here in Peoria, a great organization, and the only organization in the United States that has its own facility for homeless veterans here in Peoria, and thanks to you and your donations, it's well supported, and I've been there a number of times, and to be quite candid about it, I wouldn't mind living there myself.
Yeah, it's
They're
a very
really
nice facility.
They take care of those guys and give them all the help they possibly need.
Right.
Well, hey, now let's take a look at some of this art, and I want to thank Randy for coming in and telling you folks about the event starting on November the 8th.
November 8th, it opens up. It's a Monday, and it'll go until January the 5th. So, and then that's when the library's open, the show will be open. So, over the holidays, relatives come into town. It's all free. If the library's open, the show's open. Bring the family down.
Adventure Sports Outdoors is brought to you in part by Corsall Lumber, manufacturers of quality hardwood products, buyers of standing timber in Smithfield. Central Pool Supply, everything from pools to pool tables and much more in Peoria on West Pioneer Parkway. Kelleher's Irish Pub and Eatery, located on Peoria's riverfront, open 11 a.m. daily. Eastport Marina, one of the only marinas in its class between Chicago and St. Louis, on Mariners Way in East Peoria. Goodwill, supporting our veterans with job placement assistance, health, housing, and resource referrals. And the General Wayne A. Downing Home for Veterans, all because you shop and donate. And by Lori Feld of Allstate Insurance, at their new East Peoria location, 411 East Washington Street, next to the U.S. Post Office, on the corner at the bottom of Springfield Road Hill. Our thanks to all of these sponsors.
Thanks for watching another edition of Adventure Sports Outdoors. You know, every day we should say thank you and hold these guys and gals in high esteem for what they do, giving a part of their life, and some of them gave their whole life. And every day we should always remember and thank those who did serve. We'll see you next month.